This week on the Big Thunder podcast, Disney held their Ultimate Fan Event, and we will break down the hottest topics from movies, shows, parks, and more.
Do we want a fifth Toy Story?
Well, that's kind of what this show's about. We'll find out later.
Okay. Is a live-action-ish Stitch cute or creepy?
And do we need to be worried about the Muppets being kicked out of Hollywood studios?
All that and much, much more. Buckle up.
Hey everybody, it's time to hop aboard the Big Thunder Podcast. Wildest podcast in the wilderness. Yeehaw! And here's your hosts, Beau and Abby.
Welcome to the Big Thunder Podcast, where we round up all the buzz out of Disney and Universal and usually play a fun but ultimately stupid game, but not in this one because there is too much news to cover because of D23. We're your hosts, Beau.
And Abby.
I was expecting maybe just like a few things, a few newsworthy events coming out of the weekend. But no, they just kept pummeling you with news. And we're going to break down the majority of it, at least the ones that are the most newsworthy parts of it.
Did you hear how many announcements there were?
I did not. Was there a number?
Over 50.
I believe it.
Yeah.
It was a big
And there's
weekend.
Still new news coming out. Like
Even today,
yeah.
as we were recording.
Yeah.
Also, let's get to the very small, non-Disney related news of the roundup. You know, we had talked about the Blumhouse Scarezone.
Sure we did. I remember.
If you remember, the Blumhouse Scarezone was the one that got kind of leaked.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Enter the Blumhouse. Run a terrifying gauntlet of Blumhouse characters from the Grabber to Megan dancing into your nightmares. This is a new kind of horror. Blumhouse, they make scary movies. Official artworks also show the Blissfield Butcher from the movie Freaky. That was with Vince Vaughn and Catherine Newton, where it was a Freaky Friday story where they switched. So a teenage girl became Vince Vaughn, who is a serial killer. So then the teenage girl was a serial killer.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Okay.
And then Babyface is the killer from the Happy Death Day series. That's like a time loop, Groundhog's Day style scary movie. That's pretty good.
Okay.
And then based on things being set up in the park, there may also be characters from The Purge. So that's going to be a scare zone in Orlando. Over on Hollywood, Enter the Blumhouse is the theme of this year's Terror Tram. So that's the tram ride that you get off of and you can walk around. And yeah, that is the final scare zone to be announced.
Okay.
But Universal did have one more announcement, and that was the Celestial Park nighttime show coming to Epic Universe in the summer of 25. The story behind this: Apollo, the god of the sun, takes care of the park during the day. But when dusk falls, it's time to hand it over to Luna, who is in charge of the luminescence of the night.
That's pretty.
So this takes place at dusk as day becomes night. It's a light water music show in Celestial Park, which is kind of like the main entrance
where there are hotels located.
There are hotels.
So starting in January, you can get a reservation there. If you'd be interested in that, you can reach out to us at Minnie Vacay. But these hotels, did you see the video?
I know they look cool.
There's a leak, or I don't think it's a leak. I think it comes from Universal, but they showed progress of the site of the hotel, and it is like art.
Yeah.
And then they have stars that light up that you'll see. It looks so pretty.
Yeah. I think that's going to be a pretty cool hotel. And not that Universal doesn't have cool hotels, but I don't think they've ever done anything that seems like this elaborate and like innovative.
And it's like on property. So if you stay there, you wake up, you have your breakfast, you walk outside, and you're in the park.
Stardust Racers right there.
You're like right there.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be like such a draw.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, that's it. I think it's now time to go to D23.
Yeah.
The 23 being in honor of 1923, which was the beginning of Disney.
That's where it comes from. I asked for the 23 because, silly me, would I have been like last year, been like, oh, it's D23 because it's 2023.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This year is the Ultimate Disney Fan Event presented by Visa. Friday night at the Honda Center in Anaheim in front of about 12,000 people.
So many people.
Disney held their entertainment showcase. with footage, sneak peeks, and breaking news about the movies, television, and stage shows they're developing for the next few years. We're not covering everything. I'm just covering the things that I think are newsworthy. Some of it was just like...
No time for, is this news?
Yeah, no time for any of that. Let's kick off with the big trailers, which... we're not doing reactions because that would fall under Is This News? Because there are things, we already knew these were coming for Moana 2 and Mufasa. You just watched both those trailers before we started recording. Do you have any initial thoughts on either Mufasa or Moana?
I'm more excited about Moana.
Yep, agreed.
I love Moana. I love that she has a little sister. I didn't know it was a sister.
Oh, yeah?
And I love the giant age gap because we have giant age gap children.
That's, yeah.
And that, like...
That is nice.
I love that. And I love that immediately the first time I saw the little sister, I was like, oh my God, she reminds me so much of Charlie.
She very much does. The cynical part of me is like, man, they just need to sell new dolls.
I don't care. I'll buy those dolls. I played with Moana Barbie yesterday with Charlie. We had Tiana, Moana, Mirabelle. We had a nice, lovely time.
Yep.
And yeah, I'm excited for the new adventure. It's just, it's fun to see her, but also... like, you know, her voice sounds different because obviously the actor has grown up.
I didn't get that.
Oh, to me it seemed a bit different.
Sure.
I don't know.
Well, you got to think what's the age gap between movies now? Because if she's got a little sister who's at least 3,
yeah,
so she's
3 or 4
would have went from like 15 to 18.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mufasa seems fine.
So I think the trailer makes it more appealing than the teaser did. The teaser for me was like I don't need this.
Sure.
But the trailer makes it seem, you know, a bit more interesting.
Yeah. Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't have any. It's a movie that exists. It's not anything that I'm gonna like go out of my way to catch.
Yeah.
I still haven't watched the first.
Do I still
original.
love The Lion King? Yes.
Sure.
Do I think it is like an iconic movie for Disney? Absolutely. But the live action ones, I don't know. I don't need them. When we saw Scar, I was like, this lion does not look like Scar. He does not have like a black hair on him.
Yeah.
And then I was like, do lions in real life have black manes ever? Am I just like, is it like people getting mad about Ariel and it's like mermaids don't exist?
Also coming out of Walt Disney Animation Studios, we've got Zootopia 2 coming in November of 2025.
I'm quite nervous though.
Why is that?
Because I follow Jennifer
Goodwin.
I don't know why I just said it on her name. Probably because it's...
Jennifer Goodwin.
Yeah, it's spelled Jennifer. So do you say Jennifer or Jennifer?
I would say Jennifer.
Okay. Well, I follow her on Instagram, and she posted, like, promo tour. Who is the sir sitting next to her? It is not...
the prince from Once Upon a Time, or what?
No.
Oh.
It's not the Fox. It's not Arrested Development.
It's Justin Bateman.
Jason Bateman.
Yeah.
It's not Jason. Who's Justin Bateman?
I think his sister's Justine Bateman.
Justin Bateman, his evil twin.
Yes, Jason Bateman.
Jason Bateman. It's not him.
Well,
it's someone new.
No, he did the voiceover at D23.
Okay, well,
I don't know.
It's a snake.
Is the bad guy Ki Kwan? I'm getting there.
Oh well, I don't know anything. I just know that it was a snake and it was not the fox, and I felt feelings.
There's a fugitive snake voiced by Ki Kwan. Who is
Ki Kwan Asian? Because this man was not Asian.
Okay.
So it was a white man.
Was it Jared Bush?
Who's that?
He's the director. He's also writing it. He directed Zootopia 2 and Moana and Encanto.
Does he kind of look like the Nickelodeon host of...
You talking about Mark Summers from Double
Dare? Does he kind of look like Mark Summers currently? Yeah, that was him.
Okay.
And I had so many feelings.
That is the director.
Okay.
He's also...
You see it though, right?
Yes. He's also the man on Twitter who confirmed for me the argument we have every time we watch Encanto. When Abuela was like, tries to get everyone to get back to the party, and she's like, the magic is strong, and so are the drinks.
Yeah,
and
she's insinuating that Mirabelle is drunk.
That is your theory. I say she's just trying to get people back to the party.
No.
You are saying that she's saying Mirabelle is drunk.
She is.
I asked the director of the film, and he responded to me.
Was that him?
Yes.
Okay.
And he said that while he thinks your idea is funny, I am right.
You cannot tell me. I will never not believe that that is what it means. Of course they're not going to be like, yeah, we got this, like, 13-year-old drunk. They can't say that.
She's 15.
It's just, she's 15.
Yeah. She's 5 at the beginning, 10 years later. Anyways, not important.
If you're watching this on YouTube, have you ever picked up that they insinuated Mirabelle was drunk? Because I want to know.
Okay.
I want to know if it's just me.
All right, and lastly, out of Walt Disney Animation Studios, we've got Frozen 3 announced for 2027. Walt Disney Animation CCO Jennifer Lee says that Frozen 3 will answer why Elsa has powers while Anna doesn't. Anna doesn't.
How
Sorry.
dare you?
Sorry, I said Anna. I slipped. Anna.
Wow.
Anna. She also teases that it will take 2 films to answer the questions, so it's likely that Frozen 3 will lead to Frozen 4.
But, like, does it need to be 2 films?
Forzen. We should call it Forzen. Yeah.
I don't think it needs to take 2 films. I think they probably could figure it out in an hour and a half. I think they want it to take 2 films.
Possibly.
Now I'm all sassy.
Yeah, you seem real riled up.
I am.
What would you like to see in a Frozen 3?
I don't know, because I didn't know what I needed in Frozen 2.
Sure.
And to this day, when Elsa goes into the dark, icy place that she shouldn't go, I cry at that song every time. And I didn't know I needed that.
Well, I'll tell you, here's what I need.
Ooh.
Oh, go ahead.
Maybe a wedding. Maybe some children.
Okay. That's what you want in Frozen 3?
Maybe Elsa to be a little auntie.
Sure.
Auntie Elsa.
All right. Now we're moving into Disney live action, and the people, audio people won't know that I'm using quotes around live action because there's a lot of animated stuff. It's limited like Mufasa.
Okay.
Mufasa was considered live action. It's all animated.
Yeah.
Now we're going into the first of reactions. What I want to show you for the first time.
But I turned.
Okay. Well, now you got to turn again.
Okay. You always yell at me, though.
Well, I prefer you to talking to the microphone, and I have a feeling the people listening would also prefer you.
But the screen is to my left,
Talking to the
and the
microphone.
microphone is to my right.
Okay, well, just when you have a thought, turn towards me. They didn't put out official footage for this, other than a YouTube short. So I got this from the D23 presentation.
The world of entertainment spans over 100 years.
This is so pretty. It's just the opening. Oh, is it Stitch?
We do have people looking into this. Are we back?
I think he's cute.
Stitch. Language. Well, now is as good a time as any to announce that live action Lilo and Stitch is...
Oh, I think he's cute.
Yeah, I agree.
What do you think?
Yeah, I like it. I'm excited for it.
I mean, how are you going to make a live action Stitch without him looking absolutely terrifying?
Well, and that's the thing. I was worried it was going to end up like the Sonic that they had to fix.
He would be like if you could make him really scary.
Yeah.
I think he's cute.
Agreed. That's for summer 25. There isn't an official date, just
we should go.
Summer.
We should go to Disney.
Oh.
Do you think they'll do the castle again? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
1 year for June 26th for Stitch Day, they TP'd the Cinderella Castle.
Oh, yeah.
And had Stitch. You can find it. I can't remember what year they did it or why they did it.
It was on November 16th, 2004 for the grand opening of Stitch's Great Escape.
Can you imagine, if that was your only Magic Kingdom day?
Yeah.
And you go and you're, ready to see. I mean, it would be so cool to, see it, but, I would need to go another day just to see it.
Yeah, you've finally made it there. You're looking to get your iconic photo.
Yeah, and it's what happened?
Yeah.
I think it's cute.
Agreed. All right. Now, here's another. This was our first look at Snow White.
Oh, I haven't seen this. Her dress is so pretty. Oh, she looks good.
All right, initial impressions.
Is that just the teaser?
That's just the teaser.
Okay, I was gonna say that wasn't much.
That was the first footage we've seen.
It looks beautiful.
Yeah.
I think it looks really good.
Yeah, I do think, like, as far as how it looks, fantastic.
I think
A+.
the characters look good.
Yeah.
Who's
hope
the witch?
Gal Gadot.
No. Oh, yes, but do they have an older, or do they just do like makeup?
It'll probably just be makeup.
Okay. I know who, like,
Okay, well,
the queen was.
Yeah, I hope the dwarves look good. This one comes out in March
2025.
March 21st of 2025. Originally, it was supposed to be March of this year. There have been extensive reshoots and controversies.
Because did they switch out?
Well, that's the thing. So the rumor, at first, supposedly there weren't going to be dwarves and they were just going to be bandits. And then, like, I heard some plot details of, like, Snow White's starting a rebellion against the queen, and I'm like, that's the plot of Once Upon a Time.
Yeah.
So it's I don't know. I don't know what we'll actually get when this movie comes out. Just because there's reshoots doesn't mean that's a bad thing. But, like, I'm a skosh nervous. All right, got some real quick news. We're not going to spend too much time on these ones.
Okay.
Still from Disney live action. Tron Ares, the third Tron film, coming out October 10th, is going to have music by Nine Inch Nails.
October 10th this year?
2025.
Oh, okay.
Nine Inch Nails. The previous film was known for its music from Daft Punk. This time it's Nine Inch Nails.
I'm not a Tron fan.
Well, we're going to watch them for this podcast before October 10th, 2025.
Okay.
Avatar, the third one, the title was announced. Avatar, Fire and Ash, December 19th, 2025.
I don't need that. I don't need that.
Avatar? Well, they're getting a whole new land, so they got to justify it.
Do you know that nobody...
Spoiler for something coming up
Yeah.
later in the podcast.
The TikTok and the Instagram comments agree with me that we don't need this. We don't want this.
Okay, The Rock's doing a monster truck movie. Okay, next one. They announced...
No time.
No
Keep
time.
going.
We are half an hour into the podcast,
know.
and I still have so much to talk about.
Okay, keep going.
They announced the official title for the sequel to Freaky Friday. It will be... The movie itself will be released in 2025.
Freakier Friday.
I was just going to say, can you guess the title? It's the second laziest title.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about things I don't like, but that's a lazy title.
I don't need this either.
Okay, that wraps up Disney live action. Now, moving on to Marvel. Most of their big news came out of Comic-Con, so we're not going to talk about Thunderbolts. We're not going to talk about Brave New World. We are going to talk about what I am pumped for, probably the most of anything they have coming up, and that's Daredevil Born Again. That's the new series.
I thought you were going to talk about how much Tony Stark's getting paid.
Oof.
Sorry, keep going. Daredevil Born Again.
Daredevil Born Again. If anyone needs to know my favorite Marvel superhero, it is Daredevil. This is a series that debuts in March on Disney+.
Oh, it's like the show Daredevil.
Yes.
I was like, I thought we were mad at Daredevil because of... I'm sorry, I've been mad at Daredevil.
Oh, you're not mad at Daredevil, you're mad at Ben Affleck. That's different.
Okay, so we're back into TV.
This is TV Daredevil.
Okay.
This is Charlie Cox. This is essentially season
Very
4.
good.
Yes.
Very good.
This is essentially season 4 of the Netflix show. The crowd got to see footage, but they didn't put the footage online. So that's one of the benefits of going to D23.
Someday.
So season 2 is about to start filming, so they must feel confident in it.
Cool.
And officially now, it is confirmed that the Netflix cast is back.
Nice.
So Deborah Ann Wall, Eldon Henson, so Karen Page, Foggy Nelson, they're back. There was rumors that... So when this show first started getting developed, I think those characters had been killed, and this was that was the story going forward. And then kind of Disney stepped in, or Kevin Feige stepped in when he was allowed to be a little more hands-on, and they were like, "This is not a good project. We need to kind of start from scratch on this." And
From
they
the
did.
first show?
Yeah, from Born Again, this show.
Yeah.
When they started developing it
Yeah.
and going forward, and they may even have started shooting it, it was not like testing well with people who were seeing it, and they were like, "We need to start this over. We need to get him in the suit faster. We need to, and we would like to bring back Karen Page and Foggy Nelson."
Yeah.
Also, John Bernthal's back as the Punisher, so that's cool. One thing, this is recently confirmed that it makes this series a little closer to home for us. So the late Camar de los Reyes, who was in Amelia 2.0, the movie that I co-produced.
Yeah.
Yes. So he died of cancer not too long
Yeah.
ago.
I didn't know it was cancer.
He's in the show as a superhero called White Tiger. But yeah.
But he won't live.
But he won't be here to see it.
That's so sad.
Yeah. But I am excited to see him in the show.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
Yeah. All right, jumping over to Star Wars. We've got The Skeleton Crew. That's a show coming December 3rd of this year. So get your birthday weekend ready for Skeleton Crew. This is a show that has been described a lot as like Goonies in space. This is about kids, a group of kids out in the universe. They have a mysterious discovery on their seemingly safe home planet that ends up getting them jettisoned out into the strange, dangerous galaxy.
So it's like kids, Star Wars, Percy Jackson.
I guess
they're like, look at this cash cow.
They've
Percy
been talking.
Jackson.
They've been talking a lot about the old Amblin movies, the old like Steven Spielberg '80s movies, like your E.T.s and stuff like that.
The classics.
So we finally got the first teaser for that. That was supposed to be out last year, and they bumped it to this year. Looks good, looks fun. Some people are like, why does it look so kiddie? Yeah, guys, it's Star Wars. A lot of Star Wars is for kids.
Yeah.
Hate to break it to you.
Lily will probably love it.
Probably. It does look very good. And like, I don't know if you know this about me. I'm a sucker for a very specific type of movie. And that's like a group of ragtag kids sucked into an adventure. Like, guess
Spaceballs.
No, it's not. I'm more like a Stranger Things or a Monster Squad or a Goonies or E.T.
I meant
kids.
That. Yeah.
Spaceballs. No. I do love Spaceballs.
I think I meant Monster Squad.
Oh yeah, just like
I don't know how I got those confused.
Just like a bunch of kids who are kind of dorks that go off and have to have an adventure. Like that's my jam.
Well, clearly it's a lot of people's jam.
Clearly, Stand By Me.
Sandlot.
Love Sandlot.
Let's just keep naming movies. We have so much to keep going. We have no time.
Oh my gosh, we don't have time. Andor Season 2 is coming in 2025. That's the show you haven't watched that I say you will enjoy. Krennic and K2SO, who are characters from Rogue One, they will appear in Season 2. If you have forgotten, Andor is the prequel series to Rogue One. Then, The Mandalorian and Grogu. That's the next Star Wars film to be in theaters. That's coming May 22nd, 2026. Currently in production, starring Pedro Pascal.
2026?
Yes.
Okay.
You want a running theme for this Disney news?
Listen, my park
Don't hold your breath.
My park news has a running theme too. Once we get to that, so.
And directed by Jon Favreau. And
we love Jon Favreau.
Stay tuned for more Mandalorian news coming up.
Which is why I confirmed the date, because that does not match the date of my Mandalorian news.
Moving over to Pixar. Elio is coming June 13th from 2025 from Pixar. It was supposed to come out this year. This is their next film. It's a new adventure following Elio, a space fanatic with an active imagination who gets beamed up to the Communiverse, an interplanetary organization that mistakes him for Earth's leader. This is something we already knew about, but it's finally announced that it's coming June 13th.
I remember, sure.
New announcement, though, is Dream Productions, something that's coming in 2025. This is an Inside Out spin-off series for Disney+. This will be 4 episodes long, about the studio inside Riley's mind where dreams really do come true.
That could be cute.
That should be fun. I don't know if it's going to be from Pixar or if it's going to be done by a different studio. We'll see. 2026 for Pixar is Hoppers. Mabel, an animal lover who seizes an opportunity to use technology to hop her consciousness into a lifelike robotic animal, an adorable beaver. Hoppers features the voices of Bobby Moynihan and John Hamm. 2026.
I mean, no offense to them. I made quite the stink face. I
don't know. I'm excited for any original Pixar movie.
That's true.
Keep in mind that statement for what I'm about to say next. Toy Story 5 coming in the summer of 2026. Director Andrew Stanton, he's worked on all of the Toy Story films, but this is the first one that he gets to direct. He also directed the Nemo movies, and he directed WALL-E.
Listen, we are huge Toy Story fans.
Yes.
I mean, there was a time you could not have walked into our house when Charlie was little.
Yes.
That a Toy Story was not on.
Yes.
But we didn't need 4.
Yeah, I agree.
So is 5 here?
I find redeeming qualities in 4, but you are correct that it should have ended
Is 5
at 3.
here to redeem 4?
Well,
to be like, we know.
My gut's saying no.
Why?
So the plot of Toy Story 5 is the toys will face off against technologies like iPads and iPhones.
So my mom wrote the script.
That's what it feels
The
like.
boomers are
freaking
like,
boomer stuff.
I wanted it to be like Andy's a dad,
Yep.
and now he like goes to find his toys because Bonnie's a teenager
Well,
now.
maybe it's Bonnie's loves her iPad so much that at the very end, Andy will come back and they'll play music that makes you think you want to cry.
No, they'll play music that will break me and I will cry. Do you remember on Toy Story 3 after watching it? Toy Story
But did
3
you
is
cry at
when-
Toy Story 4? When you didn't cry at Toy Story 4
No,
when he
I
left, you
left
were
irate.
mad.
I was irate at Toy
I
Story
like
4.
Woody's ending.
When I left Toy Story 3, I cried from the movie theater for like blocks.
Yeah.
Was I pregnant? Yes, but I still cried so long.
Yeah. And then there's also 50 malfunctioning commemorative Buzz Lightyear figures who will cause some serious problems.
Probably because they get like malware. Because it's like
It may be, but no, I think it's going to be like old toys. And it's just like in Toy Story 1 and Toy Story 2 and Toy Story 3, where we get the Buzz that thinks he's a space ranger. So now we have 50 Buzzes that think they're space rangers. Man. I've said on this podcast I don't like talking about things I don't like.
Yeah.
But I am not pumped for this one.
Well, are we still going to see it?
Yeah. Probably for this podcast.
Am I still going to buy that Toy Story shirt that's
We're the
in
problem.
my Target cart right now? There is such a cute... I forgot to tell you. There's a really cute Toy Story shirt that's only for $10 at Target right now, and I want to buy it.
As long as we keep going to see these movies, they'll keep making them. They made Toy Story 5 because Toy Story 4 made so much money. Speaking of movies you probably didn't need because the previous one made so much money, up until Inside Out 2 became the highest grossing animated film.
Oh, it's The Incredibles, which I am kind of excited about.
Pixar's original highest grossing film was Incredibles 2, which is why Incredibles 3 is in the works.
I allow it. And I'm not a big... I enjoy The Incredibles.
Yeah. They get a pass for me for as much as I love superhero films and have for my entire life.
There's some fun zingers.
I believe there's the possibility for a good story here. I didn't love Incredibles 2, despite the fact that scene where Violet shoots milk out of her nose or whatever, it had me dying in the theater.
I did like the second one because Mom got to go out on some adventures, and that was nice.
Yeah.
So
maybe put me down as cautiously optimistic for Incredibles 3.
Yeah.
So just to recap, here are all the movies coming out in 2025. Captain America Brave New World, Snow White, Thunderbolts, Elio, The Fantastic Four First Steps, Lilo and Stitch, Zootopia 2, Avatar Fire and Ash, and Freakier Friday. That's a big slate.
That's 9 out of 12 months.
Are
they all their own month?
February, March, May, June, July, summer, November, December,
Wow.
and a TBD.
Wow, that's a lot. We don't have the budget for that.
I would be surprised if Freakier Friday comes out in 2025. Just because it doesn't have a release date, it's just sometime, and because their slate is so full, I can see it getting kicked to 2026. And especially if it's good, they'll want to save it.
Well, they have Chad Michael Murray back.
They also have Manny Jacinto off of The Acolyte. You know him from The Good Place. He was Jason.
Oh, okay. He's hilarious.
I feel like Freakier Friday honestly feels to me like it's a November, December release more so than a summer release.
I was thinking September, October for like Halloween, even though it's not Halloween-y, but like it gives you that like vibe. Yeah,
November they've already got Zootopia, and December is Avatar, so would they want to put it in that time frame?
That's demographic.
But you're still competing with yourself as far as marketing.
Yeah, but people who go see Tron, what'd you say? Tron?
It's Avatar and Zootopia are their winter releases.
Yeah, if I had a choice between Freakier Friday and Avatar, I'd pick Freakier Friday.
I would say they would have a window in like September.
Yeah, that's my guess.
Okay.
You heard it here.
If it comes out in September.
What do I win?
I'll take you to see it in the movie theater.
Will you take me to Disney? Will you take me to Disney?
Yeah, this is the one. Of all the times you've wanted to win a trip to Disney, your Freakier Friday bet is me.
That's perfect. Okay.
All right.
Is it my turn?
Almost. Wrapping up the entertainment showcase, other notable news. Percy Jackson got a tease for season 2. That's in production. That will be streaming in 2025.
I'm genuinely so excited.
Descendants/Zombies World Collide Tour for 2025. That's a stage performance. Some of the stars of the movies will be touring. And Greatest Showman on Broadway.
Ooh,
Hercules for London's West End. And the Frozen musical has been filmed and will be coming to Disney+.
Hercules is going to be filmed?
No, Hercules is being performed in London.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wonder how many Bridgerton castmates will be in it.
I don't have my jar. I'm seriously going to get you a Bridgerton jar for this show.
If Luke Newton goes?
Frozen is going to be, has been filmed and will premiere on Disney+. All right, and so we will get to all the huge announcements from the Disney parks in just a moment. But if you'd like to experience Halloween Horror Nights, Epic Universe, or the soon-to-be extinct DinoLand USA, you should contact... We've talked about it already.
Okay. You should contact Minnie Vacay. Here on Big Thunder Podcast, we like to keep things as real and authentic as possible. And one hard truth is that for as amazing and magical as a trip to Disney or Universal can be, planning one can be a little intimidating and sometimes even frustrating. What are the best parks for my family? What are the best places to stay for my budget? Do I really need to wake up at 4 a.m. 2 months before my trip to book dinner reservations? It can definitely be a lot. But that's where Minnie Vacay can help you. We are certified Disney and Universal travel planners who specialize in taking the hard stuff off of your plate. We love waking up at 4 a.m. for Disney stuff. And not only are our services completely free to you, but when you book a vacation package with us, we'll send you a $25 gift card. Minnie Vacay is a part of Gateway to Magic Travel, an authorized Disney vacation planner and Disney earmarked agency. Check us out on social media. We're on Facebook and Instagram to get the ball rolling on your next magical adventure, or you can also see all of our information at minnievacay.com.
The second night of D23 saw Disney present their Experience Showcase.
Which means?
Highlighting the future of Disney parks and cruises.
Yes.
Abby, was there anything worth talking about on that second night?
It was really a snooze for the most part. I'll just go ahead and reference my 4 pages of notes to discuss.
And how many notes do you normally bring to the show?
0 notes. No notes. I just show up and hope for the best. So it was wild. So I went through like a real organized person and I broke out the news by park.
Okay.
And I am going to go in order of my excitement.
Okay.
So the last few D23s that we've watched, because we've only really been on this side of being a Disney fan the last, 3 to 4 years?
Sure.
When we really got into like obsessively talking about Disney. Like, I don't think there's a day that goes by that one of us doesn't mention something, right?
Right.
So we've been hearing a lot of the same things over and over the years, like rumors about, Villains Park, rumors about a 5th park at Walt Disney World, rumors about rides being reimagined. And the last couple years, probably due to the pandemic, a lot of it's been what they call blue sky projects, where it's basically like, this is something that could happen, that might happen.
Yeah.
And they kind of just like gauge how people feel. So the biggest thing I think that like set the night was Josh D'Amaro, who is the boss man of Disney Parks. That's not his official title, but that's his deal.
Sure.
He came out to stage and he said, quote, that the plans are drawn and dirt is moving. That like everything they talked about or were going to talk about were things that were happening. No blue sky actually happening. So it was like very exciting.
Well, that was our biggest kind of, I don't know, fear seems strong, but I expected a lot of.
This might happen. Yeah. So the good news is all of the things we're going to talk about are things that they have already put into motion.
Yeah.
Now, the bad news is a lot of people in the comments of things are like, I can't wait to take my kids. Speaking of kids. That was such good timing.
I'm back.
Okay. A lot of people are excited, like, I can't wait to take my kids to this. And while your kids will always be your kids, the kids that you have right now will not be the kids that experience these things. Yeah. So we're going to jump right in to the news, and we're going to focus on just the U.S. like parks. So Walt Disney World in Florida, Disneyland in California, and the cruise lines. Okay, so starting with Magic Kingdom. The biggest news, which happened at the very end of the night after everyone was completely sad with the lack of announcement about Beyond Big Thunder Mountain, which has been a teased blue sky project for basically the 3 years that we've been tuning in.
Yeah.
Is Josh D'Amaro was presenting. He was basically saying goodbye. And then not Maleficent. Sorry, the evil queen.
Yeah.
And the mirror came out, and it was like, what is happening? And they announced the Villains Land, which is going to be the actual Beyond Big Thunder expansion. Yeah. It's going to be several acres, which, again, if you listen, I have no concept of what an acre is. When we were planning our Beyond Big Thunder, which was episode like
4, maybe?
Yeah, you'll have to go listen to it. Yeah, you'll have to go listen to it.
Link.
Yeah, but I have zero concept of what land size means. So the tease for the Villains Land says it will have poison apples abound in this thorny, villainous land. It will have 2 attractions, dining and shopping, and preparation is currently underway. So they've already started. So we've shared that DFB like saw permits being pulled.
Yeah.
So it's like happening. There is no timeline.
Yeah.
So I would guess probably 2026, 2027.
Ooh, you're being optimistic.
I know. But one of the teases was that these changes will come to life over 5 years. And so I'm hoping that since they've already started, because here we'll jump into Cars next. So the next big exciting announcement is that Cars are coming to the Frontier, which don't think about that too hard because it makes no sense.
Yeah.
But they're going to tie it in, and the concept art that they've released looks really fantastic. And I think it will be cute. So it's going to be over, well, here's the big news that came out today, which is 2 days after the Saturday announcement. So it's good that we waited to record the podcast. They are taking Tom Sawyer Island, and they are filling in the Rivers of America. Yeah. So the Liberty Bell boat is gone.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That whole area. Yeah.
I never got to ride the Liberty Bell.
Well, we best go.
Yeah.
I rode it once. I was young, and the whole time I was riding it, I was like, why are they taking me away from the castle? I don't want to go here. I don't want to go where the bears live. Yeah. So I was joking with Liz this morning that the bear was probably where they're like, we got to shut this down.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're filling in the water. And that will be the Cars area. So we are going to get 2 rides. The note from the announcement says that we are going to leave Radiator Springs and we are heading west to an exciting frontier with 2 new attractions. The first one will be a race through the mountains where we will dodge geysers and splash in mud. So I'm guessing it will be the ride from Disneyland.
Radiator Springs Racers.
But it will be rethemed to like
wilderness.
The wilderness, the frontier.
I'd be fine with that.
I would too. And then the next one, it just said, then there will also be kid-friendly racer options, which
I know
is the first one. Do you have to be super tall to ride it?
Not super tall, but taller.
Okay, so like
it might be like a 40-inch height requirement.
Yeah. Which this is huge because when they announced like Cars coming, my mind immediately went to the Speedway, and like they're just gonna retheme.
That would make the most sense.
Yeah, they're just gonna retheme, and we were gonna get an electric Speedway so we could breathe over there.
Yeah, 40? That's right, 40 inches.
Okay, so probably
it's about 2 inches taller than Charlie, but she's a peanut, so
yeah. I hope they don't do like another Dumbo ride because we have Dumbo.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's like an Alien Swirling Saucers, Baymax. They have a Cars version of that style of ride where it's kind of teacuppy, but it's a little different.
Like moves you.
Yeah, I know.
But if we have that at Hollywood Studios,
they're not above having. I mean,
that's true.
Magic Kingdom alone has the Magic Carpets and Dumbo.
That's true. Okay, so that's the big news about the Cars area, which It's wild to think about Magic Kingdom. It's like, I can't be pleased. Every time I go to Frontierland, I'm like, why does this exist? Why do we want this? This is so weird.
Yeah.
Probably
like
because
with country bears.
Probably because we live in Iowa. So a lot of like, it gives just that Midwest old vibe that like I'm getting away from.
You want more fantasy.
Yeah. And then, but now that they're like taking it away, it's like, well.
Yeah. You're not going to see me shed tears over Tom Sawyer Island.
Yeah. You've never been.
And I don't need to.
We have no
I've
desire.
Been to Fort Atkinson.
Basically the same thing. So the Cars project is starting in 2025. Mm-hmm. So we basically have to go to Disney this year to be able to like say goodbye.
To Tom Sawyer Island?
No, to the Liberty Bell. We don't have to get off the boat. We could just ride a boat.
Okay.
But it's like the Mississippi. It's like, that's why.
Oh, yeah.
It's like the boats on the Mississippi River.
Yeah.
Anywho. So the project starts in 2025 for that one. I'm assuming that's going to take a minute.
Yeah.
But this year, don't you worry. You can go to the Pirates of the Caribbean or Caribbean Tomato Lounge.
Nice.
Yeah. That's something we want.
Something I would think that that's something somebody would want.
Yeah. I wonder if they'll like have like Jack Sparrow bartending.
I'm sure they'll have a fun bartender.
Yeah. And then probably a top 5 exciting announcement for me is that starting next summer, they're going to have a new nighttime parade at Magic Kingdom called Disney Starlight. And I love nothing in this life more than a parade. Maybe a couple things in my life more than a parade, but I do love a parade.
Okay.
I love a nighttime parade.
Sure.
The electrical parade, TM,
yeah,
whatever the official title is,
yeah,
was like a core memory for me as a child at Disney. So that is the Magic Kingdom news. Any questions?
Why do you think you're going to get your Villain Land in 2020? What was it? You thought you'd have it by 2027?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know why?
No, please tell me why. I don't know.
Because Universal has Dark Universe. And I think that's the only reason we're getting the Villains Land.
I can understand that.
I feel like Disney has just scooted by being the big D down there. And then here comes Universal with an entire park.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, I guess.
We should try a little harder. Yeah. Here's the thing, though. Like, you're going to drop some Animal Kingdom news here in a minute. That they are much farther along on, and that's not coming till 2027.
But are they farther along, or is it just something that we actually know of?
Yeah, well, at least like the discussions have been.
Yeah, but they said dirt has been broken. Preparations underway.
Okay.
Permits have been pulled.
Let's follow that. That's another one we'll put under cautiously optimistic.
I know, but the other thing is this Villains Land that they elaborated more today. It's going to be built on land that's not touched right now. So, like, they could be doing it and we wouldn't know because we can't see it.
Okay.
It's like cast area beyond the train. How is that going to work with the train?
Like how are they going to hide it from people?
Well, even just like when you ride the train and you go through Frontierland and you're like back there, it's like back in there.
Yeah.
Anyway, it'll be interesting. Okay, next park.
Hollywood Studios.
Hollywood Studios, my second most favorite news out of D23 is we're getting Monsters Inc. land. And it says, humans are invited to the Laugh Factory. We will get to ride the doors in a first ever suspended coaster at Disney. And that's pretty much all we got so far.
Okay.
I don't know if we're going to have more than one ride. I don't know if there will be a restaurant. I'm assuming there will be shopping. But it's coming to Hollywood Studios.
So are they going to move the Laugh Factory? Or is that just... Do you think that's unrelated?
Move the Laugh Factory.
Because in Magic Kingdom, they have a Monsters, Inc. Laugh Factory.
No, they're not. I don't think they'll touch that.
Okay.
This is just, that's like where we're going.
Okay.
Like you just said, they don't care about doing things twice.
That's true. Okay.
So we're invited to the Laugh Factory, and because that's what they call,
yeah,
where the doors are and like their stuff. Headquarters.
Yeah.
And so we get to go, and then we're going to like look at some doors, and then we're going to get picked up and...
Yeah, I would say this might be of the announcements the thing that I was specifically the ride.
It was just so
coaster.
left field. Yeah. Like this is something people have been like talking about forever. Like, wouldn't it be cool to have this ride?
Yeah.
One thing of note is both big announcements of like Cars and Monsters Inc. These are like early 2000 movies, so it's like kind of weird that these are the IP that we're going in on, but also maybe they're tried and true and timeless.
Yeah.
People love them. But yeah, so the Monsters Inc. land was not something I wanted, but
Sure.
now that I know that it's coming, I'm very kind of excited for it.
Yeah.
As long as they don't touch the Muppets.
Yeah.
As long as they do these updates at Animation Courtyard, where it's basically like nothing right now, that big area, fine. If they go over to, what do you call it? Like the New York,
Yeah.
the Streets of America
Yeah.
area where the Muppets live, we will riot.
Yeah, but Animation Courtyard is where we had one of our favorite memories with Charlie on our trip.
It is, but they could move them. I'm not saying get out,
What's our meet and
Fancy
greet with Doc
Nancy.
McStuffins? Was-
Yeah, I'm not saying they have to go away. I'm just saying maybe they could go over near Toy Story where old Toy Story was.
Or they could stay at Hollywood and Vine for the breakfast.
Well, that'd be fine, but I don't know. Yeah. Okay. The next up. So construction for Monsters Inc. starts in 2025. So I'm guessing we'll get that 2028, 2027.
Okay.
There's no timeline. The next Hollywood Studios update is that tying in with your movie, Mando and Grogu are going to be joining us on adventures on the Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run in 2026. My timing was wrong.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. So
Probably to tie in with the movie when it's released.
I would assume so.
Yeah.
I don't know if it will ever switch, like, the story. Because right now it's Chewie, right?
Well, he sort of.
Like, how do you imagine that working?
I can tell you, you go in and it's the Falcon's there because Chewie has loaned it to Hondo Ohnaka and he's going to use it and you're supposed to go get him some coaxium. So I don't know.
I knew all of that.
I know you did. And Hondo is the animatronic.
Yeah, he's fun.
He's Chef Biscotti.
Also Pooh Bear, right?
And Pooh Bear. That is correct. And part of the singing voice on Be Prepared. Not a lot of people know that.
You taught me that.
Yeah, I don't know how Mando is going to sneak in there. If he's just going to be in the video, if he actually is going to have some story tied into it.
If they have like an animatronic.
Or if it's
maybe.
just like it is what it is and you deal with it. I have thought like the way you make Smugglers Run a better ride is to make it like Star Tours where it's different every time you go.
That's kind of what I assumed.
I'm sure there's a way you could do it where all the mechanics of the game are the same and you just swap out the visuals.
Yeah.
But I'm also not the guy that has to do that, so what do I know?
I'm sure it's super easy.
Yeah.
It's just like beep, boop, beep.
Yeah, hit the button on the computer and it skins it all. I hope my
Fancy.
brother listens to this podcast.
Yeah,
He
it's not like
doesn't.
it's hard.
Yeah. My brother's a computer animator, by the way, so often I will say things like that just to get a rise
You're
out of
also an animator. Also, I'm an animator. I use Canva. It's just a button. You're just like, "Meh." Okay, anyway, now that we've offended every
every
animator.
creative.
Okay, so yeah, Hollywood Studios, those are the only two real announcements, but they're big.
Yeah.
Well, Monsters Inc. is big.
Yeah.
Any questions?
No.
Okay. Animal Kingdom. So we've known about this for forever,
Yeah.
but we have official, it's happening, official stamp.
Okay.
So, the Tropical Americas are taking over DinoLand. DinoLand is adorable. It was giving a little bit abandoned carnival
Yeah,
vibe.
it was always a weird choice. I know it has its fans.
Yeah.
And it has its charm. It's always been a weird
and
choice.
I've enjoyed it. But every single time I've been there, I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
And especially the last couple times we went without the big
primeval whirl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just felt a little like, this is a Disney park?
Yeah.
And so I feel like what's about to come is going to make up for that.
Yeah.
So this is from the website. It says, Lions and Tigers and Indiana Jones, oh my. The Magical Family are coming to the 11 acres. That feels like a lot.
It's smaller than Galaxy's Edge, but still pretty big.
Okay. So basically, the Lions and Tigers, I'm guessing, is a tie-in to have it be Animal Kingdom.
Well, the theme of the Encanto ride
is
Antonio's
Antonio's bedroom.
Yes.
You weren't supposed to. That's my news.
Go ahead and say it like I don't know. I'll react. I'll cut it out.
Oh, so
You acted like you didn't know
do
why.
you think the Lions and Tigers will? Does it? I couldn't think about how. Like, I need a map of the park. Do you think if you go around the back, does it connect to the
Like
Maharaji?
Africa, the Maharaja Jungle Trek?
Yeah. that like it would tie in
Possibly.
to that. So what's exciting for me, which is new news, is that they are building the casita. And in the casita, we will go, and it will take place when Antonio touches the door and gets his powers, and we get to go into his room, which is a rainforest full of all the beautiful colors and plants and animals, and I'm assuming that's the tie-in for Animal Kingdom. They're also building the Hacienda, which will be the largest quick service restaurant area on property, or one of, they said. And so that will be exciting because I can only imagine it's going to be like a lot of Latin food.
I was going to say, you should, if you don't get arepas there, it's a real missed opportunity.
I know. I'm very excited for the food and to see like what we get there. There will be a giant magical water fountain and a custom carousel with wooden animals. So I feel like it's going to be gorgeous.
Yeah.
And then the other attraction that's coming there is Indiana Jones, which is taking the place of Dinosaur, which has a lot of people sad. Not me.
Sure.
Good riddance. But a lot of people are very sad. It's their favorite. But one of the fun facts that we've learned from Molly from Mammoth Club, who is just like a freaking walking Disney, like...
encyclopedia.
I was gonna say that, but encyclopedias are like, do people even know? And I guess, anyways.
Yeah.
So she just knows everything, and she taught us that the dinosaur ride, like the bones of it, are the same as the Indiana Jones ride in Disneyland. So it's a pretty fairly, like, how long would that take?
Sure.
Like a button.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It's going to take forever.
Yeah, it's going to take forever.
2027 is the, so hopefully it's like, they're going to soft launch it in fall of 2026, and then they'll do like a grand opening in 2027. Because this just feels like a long time.
Yeah. The Encanto ride, from what I understand, is a boat ride.
Is it?
That's what I hear.
I didn't hear that.
I heard it's a boat ride.
Go to DFB and look at...
Disney Food Blog.
Yeah, go to Disney Food Blog, and they're showing, because they're at D23, like models that they brought out after the announcement on Sunday, where you can see like the concept of like the rides and some of the buildings and things. Whew. Okay, the next update at Animal Kingdom is that the Tree of Life, which is currently a Bug's Life like production little show, is going to be reimagined to Zootopia, and I'm very excited about this.
Yeah.
I think it will breathe new life into that area. Especially because it's just like ever since the beginning, it's like the Tree of Life is this iconic. It is the symbol.
It's their weenie.
It is. I'm sorry.
Their weenie. You're unfamiliar with the term of. You're unfamiliar with a weenie. You don't know about.
Familiar with.
You don't know about Walt's weenie.
No.
You consider yourself a Disney expert.
Okay, I'm sorry. That got weird. I don't know.
Walt says every park needs a weenie. It's the big thing you walk towards that catches your eye.
No, I've not heard it referenced like that.
The castles are weenies.
They're also
Spaceship Earth's a weenie. The Hollywood Studios goes back and forth on what they think their weenie is.
It was the
hat.
Well, and it was then the Chinese theater.
Yeah,
and now it's Tower.
Sometimes it's still the Chinese. I think technically you would consider it the Chinese theater now, but sometimes they use it as the Tower.
Though.
And the Tree of Life is Animal Kingdom's weenie.
Okay. Well, it's been a sad weenie. So it's just going to be exciting to have, like, the want to go up to it and, like, experience this. Opening winter of 2025. That's not too far. That's a before we know it.
Yeah.
That's exciting. And the last park in Florida to talk about is Epcot, which Epcot got the least exciting news in my opinion, but they've had a lot the last couple of years.
Yeah,
so
they
it was
just
their
have that.
turn.
They just got that new new community core hall that everyone's so pumped about and they love so much.
Yeah. So I mean, like, what else do you want? It took Epcot 45 years to get that air conditioning cubicle.
Yeah.
Anyway, Test Track is being reimagined, which it's been closed since June, I think.
Something like that.
And it will open in 2025. And it is test track presented by Chevrolet. And it's going to take you through the life of different eras of cars. And I wonder if I'll ride it soon. I've never been on it.
Sure.
And then the last new update is that there will be a new Spaceship Earth lounge. I don't quite know where it's going to be.
Yeah.
But I'm excited about it in the sense that a nice air-conditioned spot is always good.
Is this going to be for everyone? Because usually when they say lounge,
said,
it's only for DVC people.
That's what everybody was asking because everybody had that thought, but they did not mention it. And on the Disney website, it does not mention that it is exclusive. They just said it is a zen space to gather and enjoy refreshments with architecture and nods to Spaceship Earth and metallic geometrical shapes.
Okay.
So that is everything from Disney World.
That's a lot.
And now we go to Disneyland.
Okay.
So, Disneyland has 2 parks, Disney California Adventure and Disneyland Park. Disneyland Park is where your castle is. It's iconic. It's like the original park. Disney California Adventure has like a lot of the more modern things, I would say.
Well, originally it was like a celebration of California, and like over time it's kind of changed a little bit.
Yeah.
That's why it's called California Adventure.
Interesting. I didn't know that. Okay. So, get ready. Drum roll. The big announcement for Disneyland California Adventure is they're getting Pandora. A Pandora Land.
Good for them.
Pandora Way of Waterland and future films. So there's more Avatar.
There's at least 5 or 6, is I think that they have planned.
Okay. So. Well, people are pumped. They're not. Kitra's excited, I'm sure. Nobody else is. They're doing it just for her. It looks like a boat ride. People are apparently there's a Pirates of the Caribbean ride in Hong Kong, I think. Somewhere in an Asian park that's very cool. It's been recently reimagined,
sure.
And they're thinking it might be like that. There is no date on this announcement.
Okay.
Next exciting news is the first ever Walt Disney animatronic will be at Main Street Opera House, alternating with Lincoln. And this debuts in 2025. This actually is really cool to have an animatronic of him and his voice, like talking. That would be really emotional, I think. I hope we get that in Magic Kingdom eventually.
Yeah.
At the well, would it be Magic Kingdom?
Where would
maybe Epcot?
I could see it. Epcot feels right. Tomorrowland feels right.
Yeah. I don't know. Okay.
I say get rid of all the presidents. Just put.
You can get rid of the last. Not the current, but the last one.
45?
Mm-hmm. It's going to be really hard. What a ruin. Sorry, You can cut this part out. Okay. Okay, probably the most exciting announcement is that Avengers Campus is getting an expansion, and it is doubling in size. So that's pretty big.
Cool, because I do know there are some people who don't care for Avengers Campus, so...
They're wrong.
So I think this...
Me having never been there, they're wrong. I've never been there, but they're wrong. And it's surprising because, like, I would imagine Disneyland does not have that much land.
Yeah.
They must.
Apparently.
They're finding it somewhere.
Yeah.
So they are expanding it and it will have 2 new attractions. One will be a multi-world experience thanks to Infinity Stones. Mm-hmm. You'll be able to travel to Asgard, Wakanda, and New York City. I'm assuming that's Thanos' ride.
Yes, you fight King Thanos in the multiverse.
Okay, he's a king.
In the multiverse, there's one where he won.
Gross. Okay, and then the other one is Stark Flight Lab. It's a 2-person pod with robot arms that pick you up and fly you around, and I don't think you could ever ride it.
Don't want to.
Because I've watched...
Won't do it. Don't want to.
It looks rough. Fun.
Yeah.
But not for me.
No, thank you.
And then there is a new Coco attraction coming, which got a huge response.
Yeah.
This was like one of the first things they announced in the night. You're going to travel to the land of the dead with Miguel and his skeletal family. And this is coming in 2026. So that's fairly soon.
Yeah.
I mean, on the timeline of that we're getting of the 5 years.
Yeah.
And then Tiana's out there is opening 11/15.
Play the music.
Bayou Watch.
Bayou Watch is back.
So good for them.
Yep.
I wonder if it'll be exactly the same as Florida or if there'll be anything different about it.
Yeah.
We'll have to keep an eye out.
I guess so.
Okay, so that's all the news for Disneyland.
Okay.
My thought about Coco was there was rumors that they were going to get rid of the Monsters, Inc. ride there. Do you think they'll replace it with Coco? Since we're getting Monsters, Inc. Land? Like, it's like...
I suppose. I mean, the history of that ride is wild to begin with. Because it replaced the Superstar limo ride.
And this is totally
that was
me.
hated.
This is totally me speculating. It's just, where would it go?
Sure.
Because that's one of the things, like, everybody's like, this is so cool, but what are we losing?
Yeah.
Because...
They don't have a lot of...
You don't have a lot.
Land to work with.
Well, even down in Florida, like, we don't have, you know... I mean, Tom Sawyer Island.
Yeah.
That's a big...
We don't have much land down there.
We don't. I know. It is mine. It is mine. But, like, I bet people were... Like, think about how people were retheming Splash Mountain.
Yeah. Do you think Splash Mountain... You think Tom Sawyer Island is as beloved as Splash Mountain?
I think if you tell the right person that it is going away, it will be.
Okay. That's
people
fair.
who just want to be mad about things.
Yeah, that's fair.
People who probably have never been there. That's like, I never got my chance. Sorry, I don't know what that was. But
the woke mob is taking my Tom Sawyer Island.
What now? It's because of my guns. They're taking my guns.
Yep.
Because there's guns out there.
Oh, yeah. Is there?
Yeah, you like climb, remember? And then there's like rifles that you like shoot at. Why is it there? Why?
Yeah.
Well, it's not anymore. So, well, it is today, but it won't be soon.
Yeah.
That was smooth. Okay. The last bit of announcement. Yeah.
That's a ship, not an 18-wheeler, not a semi.
I knew it was a ship. That's better. It's when we stayed on our vacation for Jollywood Nights, we had the most beautiful corner room where we got to hear the boats.
Yeah, we upgraded so we could have the river view so we could see Epcot.
The fireworks.
Yeah, we upgraded.
It was the best view.
They don't tell you get the sound of the friendship boats coming.
The horns.
Every 10 minutes.
But
worth it.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Anywho, so there are 4 new ships coming between 2027 and 2031.
2031.
2031. But don't worry, because we currently have 5 ships. So here's a math lesson. We currently have 5 Disney ships. Can you name them?
The Wish, the Treasure, the Destiny, the Magic, the Mickey.
The Fantasy. The Mickey? You were doing so well.
I needed one, and I wasn't getting it.
And then there's 4 being built right now.
Okay.
We're getting the Treasure, I think, at the end of the year.
Okay.
I don't think that one's out yet.
Okay.
So there's 9. So we have 9.
The Wish is the one that I want to go on, by the way.
Yeah. The Wish is the newer one that's out right now. So we have 9. And then they're adding 4 more.
Okay.
That makes 13.
It's a lot of boats.
Do we need
It's quite the fleet.
Do we need that many?
Doesn't bother me.
There was
this does not bother me at all.
There was like one Disney cruise for like the whole of the 90s.
You know, you were just talking about people who get offended for no reason.
I know. I'm not offended. I'm just... Does the ocean need 13 Disney cruises?
Is this an environmental thing?
Well, why am I talking so high? It's just... Do we need that many? What's interesting... So, there's 4 that have been announced to come. There's no names, there's no itinerary, and there's no designs. It's just... We're going to have more ships. The Disney Destiny, which is a current ship, is getting a Hercules show. So so a Disney cruise is like a whole thing. Yeah. It's like an experience to be had.
Yeah.
And every ship has like Broadway show level shows.
Yeah.
It's got crazy delicious food. It's got like a whole lot to do. So this one is getting a Hercules show. And then the Disney Treasure, which debuts this year, is going to have a Tale of Moana show. And it has a giant puppet of Taka, which is 15 feet tall. That's a huge
That is huge.
Puppet.
Yeah.
It's the biggest puppet they've had. So I'm sure the children won't be afraid of that. But anyway.
Wow.
That's the ship news.
Okay.
And like, again, these are just like little snippets of the things. Like, it's a lot.
Yeah. Do you think you would go on a Disney cruise?
That's a great question.
Because they do look like, and I understand why a certain person would go, and I would love to go on one.
Yes.
I'm just saying, do you think you personally knowing the things that cause you a little anxiety?
Here's what I know. This past Saturday, we took our children to the local theme park. And we rode the Ferris wheel.
The Lost Island, great theme park. More people should go.
If you're in the Iowa area, Waterloo, Iowa has Lost Island theme park. It's a delight. It's like a Disney level park. If Disney was just starting off with like one little land.
Like Disneyland in the 50s.
Yeah. But like the quality of the rides, the quality of the landscape, the theming. The theming, it's very good.
Yes.
But we got in this Ferris wheel bucket and it took off. And being suspended in the sky that big, knowing I couldn't escape and knowing there was nothing to do but just be there, I don't know if I could do a ship, and I do know that it costs $15,000 for a helicopter to come get you. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not saying no. I'm just saying the boat ride to get from the Ticket and Transportation Center to Magic Kingdom, easy peasy.
Sure.
Doesn't bug me.
Yep.
Being in an airplane genuinely doesn't bother me anymore.
Yeah.
Being on a big old boat in the middle of the ocean, I think I'll just constantly be watching for icebergs in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
That's fair.
What do you think you would enjoy it? I think you'd get seasick.
No, I think I'd be fine.
I think you'd get seasick.
I got motion sick one time, and now every time you think
you're an old man now who you've lost the youth. You've lost the ability to just
look. Have you seen that cool like Star Wars bridge they have on the Wish?
No.
Well, we're gonna watch some videos. It's gonna blow your mind.
Okay.
Hey, if you're having a good time with us, make sure you check out the Big Thunder Pod on Instagram and subscribe on YouTube. Abby, if you had to choose between making a trip right now to see DinoLand one last time,
yes,
or waiting until 2027 to be one of the first to experience Puebla Esperanzas, which would you choose? Also, did you mention that it's called Puebla Esperanzas?
I didn't. Because when I wrote my notes, it was just the Tropical Americas. That's how fast these updates are coming out. Pueblo Esperanzas.
Yes.
What does that translate to?
Village Hopes.
Village of Hope?
I guess. Something like
Hope
that.
Village?
Hope Village.
I love that.
I just gave it a quick googs.
Get out of here, dinosaurs. Go over to Universal where you belong.
Okay, so
Sorry.
If you had to go to say goodbye to the dinosaurs or wait and to be the first ones to visit Pueblo Esperanzas, which would you choose?
I'm visiting Pueblo Esperanzas and I'm eating a delicious, what do you call it?
An arepa?
An arepa from a fountain with the tropical flowers and Encanto singing. That's what I'm doing.
I would go say goodbye to DinoLand.
Well, why don't we?
I never got to ride. I've only ridden the dinosaur ride once.
We gotta go get that ice cream sandwich.
And I never got my ice cream sandwich because when I went to get my ice cream sandwich, they were closed.
We should just go. Should we just go?
I've been trying to get you to take me and you never will. You're always like, we don't have money. And it's like, who cares? We never have money.
Yeah.
It's never stopped us before.
Yeah, but it should have. It should have stopped us before. If you would like to go see DinoLand before it goes extinct and we don't have a timeline, I would imagine by the first of the year. I would imagine there's just a few months left.
Yeah, Josh tomorrow says you've got time to check it out, so.
Yeah. I would guess definitely sooner than later.
All right, so that's going to do it for the show for this week. Next week, I think we're going to play another round of Building Beyond Big Thunder, which needs a new name now. If you remember, that was the game where we created
the perfect land.
The perfect land. I think now that we know it's Villains World and we've got Monsters Inc. World to play with and Cars Frontierland, I think we're gonna pitch like what we would do with those specific lands. So like, what Monsters Inc. restaurant would you want? What Villains ride would you want? Things like that. I think that's gonna be next week.
Well, obviously the restaurant has to be where Mike and
save it for next week.
Face go on their date.
Cecilia.
Don't they have spaghetti?
Celia.
Celia?
I think it's Celia.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I think they have spaghetti.
Save it for next week.
Okay.
Save it for next week.
All right.
You want to take us home?
Yep.
You always do. Every week. This shouldn't be a surprise.
It's like, take me home. I am home. Okay. If you're enjoying the show, please go to your podcast player of choice and click on follow and then turn on automatic downloads. And if you're like me and you watch podcasts on YouTube, please subscribe and leave a comment. Say hey.
Yep. And if you do watch this on YouTube, we're going to do some change-ups a little bit with that next week, probably.
So make sure you're here so you see the change up.
Yep. Anyways, automatic downloads, not only does that help the podcast, help us grow, but it also guarantees that you have the best listening experience possible.
And if you leave a review and or a comment on YouTube, we will read it on the show. We will read any of them because now we're not even asking just for the good ones. We're asking for any because desperation is here.
But really, the best thing you can do to help the show grow is just to tell a friend, preferably one that loves Disney and Universal and stupid games.
Yep. And if you want to go to Disney or Universal, make sure to contact Minnie Vacay. We're a lot of fun. We're helpful. We'll tell you the real deals and what you should and maybe should not do.
Sure.
And then you get a $25 gift card.
Absolutely.
So anyway, thanks for coming.
And enjoy the ride.